Assalamu alaikum, hotep, namaste, jambo, ashe, shalom. All the greetings of love and light to the darkest minds of the light. Thank you for being here. Please hit the like button. This is Napah Shadah. I think we should talk about this. I want to talk about what's going on with the men who are getting away, and they're going abroad for love. Now, this isn't to bash anybody who's lost their life. It's a very sad thing. It's a very sad thing that people are being taken advantage of and their lives taken. And some people, their lives aren't being taken, but their money is being taken, and their pride and their dignity. So the title is Better Women Abroad. Let's talk about passport bros being set up by honeypots, bandillas, and unalived. So where do we begin? Let's see here. Well, I was watching our brother O'Shea Duke Jackson. If you haven't yet subscribed to his channel, he's a great channel. He is actually a person who is out of the country, living out of the country. He's not vacationing out of the country, but let me just let's listen to a little bit of his live stream. Again, this is fair use, but this is fair use. And again, I want to remind you, this isn't me making fun of anyone losing their life, but we do have to discuss this, and we're going to unpack some of this and see what's going on, because we know the passport bros, they say, okay, better women abroad, get rid of, no, it's not just Black men who are being unalived. It's not just about Black men, it's all different types of men. But we know, by the way, this is Black History Month, so we know that there's this so-called war amongst the Black man and the Black woman about, you're not submissive enough, Black woman, and you're ghetto, and you're criminals, and you're not good mothers, and all that good stuff, and you don't listen to us, and you don't do what we say. So we need, and this isn't, I'm not just saying this I'm not bashing them, but these are the facts. A lot of men, a lot of Black men are leaving the country with the hopes of finding love, and they're also being coached and consistently told, listen, leave these women here. Leave these women in America alone. They are not good enough for you. There's quality, good, submissive, feminine women abroad. So let's take a listen to our brother, O'Shea, just to get some perspective. He's really covering this really well. So like I said, if you'd like, go to O'Shea Duke Jackson on YouTube and subscribe. But I'm just going to play some audio and let you hear what's been going on. So here we are. Don't forget to hit the like button, please.
On either side of the fence, somebody dislikes you. And because of that, we've had 8 passport bros killed in Colombia in the past 3 months. I want to take this time to honor them, as many of them have lost their life looking for a better way in other countries. But of course, before we get into that, the story that really got all of this bubbling for me was in 2022, we lost Timothy Rebel Reed. He was a man that decided to go from Atlanta to Barranquilla, Colombia. Well, and of course, this is what happened. I did it.
Okay, so he's taught, this is a little bit of an excerpt on a Black man about a brother. He's no longer with us. He's deceased. And you're going to hear him, really feeling good about himself, saying, I did it. I finally got to Colombia. And he's not going to say Colombia, but he's like, I got here. I got my place. Now I just have to do my restaurant. His high hopes for himself in the relocation. Now, I want you to listen to what he's saying. Number one, you shouldn't go anywhere that you're not familiar with and not have a good grasp on the language, or at least someone who you trust who can assist you with the language where you're going. That's number one thing you should not do. Now, there is some responsibility that a lot of the men out there who are telling these men, Go to another country. Go, leave these black women alone. You do. I'd say that's a lot of brothers in the manosphere. You have some responsibility to let these men know, like O'Shea is doing, that it's dangerous, and that if you don't know the language and you don't have anyone to help you translate, those are red flags. You know, sidebar too, before I get to listen to this audio, go back to audio. It saddens me to see that a lot of black men who have rarely traveled, who have never traveled, that now just to find a woman who can, make them feel good about being men, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they're going to these countries for love when really, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But why aren't the majority of them doing what this man you're going to hear in this video? Why aren't they going there for business, or just to just get to meet or to know people who are already there, like really get to know people and just to get to know the lay of the land? Most of them are going there to meet women who are very attractive but also very poor, and then they're being set up. So I'm not saying all these men who died, again, I want to remind you, I'm being very sensitive. These men did not deserve to lose their lives, but it shows that all of this stuff about leave the country, it's the key, it's the way, there's better women, that's not true, obviously. So let's listen to this man who you're going to hear him saying, I did it. And then you're going to hear him say, oh, I didn't really know the language, and some guy didn't trust me, I didn't trust him. Well, why are you there without without some type of support, with some type of language, some kind of translator, someone who can tell you, stay away from this, do that, do this. So let's listen to this gentleman who, like I said, is now no longer with us, but he didn't really think straight. Now remember, the black woman there's no mercy on her. I'm not attacking people who've passed away, but we're talking about the group of men who are saying they have it all figured out. The black woman's this, she's that, she doesn't know this, she's so broke, she's so that, she's broke, she's manly, she's violent. But then they're going over there, jumping into a culture and a place that they're not even familiar with. I mean, Colombia, anyway. I'm just using Colombia. Who doesn't know that Colombia is crime ridden? Like, do they watch any of did they ever watch Scarface or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, DRUG, dealing, arms dealing. Like, but okay, let's listen to this brother who says he went over there. He got killed. He went over there to start a business and, doing the whole passport bros things. Okay, here it is.
I have my apartment, my restaurant, and 2 other apartments. In a great location for the restaurant on a busy street. We got one thing.
So he's got high hopes. His name is Timothy Revel Reed. He was murdered in Colombia at 4/20/20. So recently. It wasn't long ago. It was after the pandemic, 2021, April 20th, in Barranquilla. That's a city in Colombia. So he was shot twice. Let's listen. Now remember, they're going there to escape the black woman who's said to be manly, not submissive, not cooperative, and dangerous to them. All those things, and there are women over there who are better. So let's listen to this.
Several things accomplished. Now the next move is to open a restaurant. So hopefully that will happen very shortly.
Okay, this is an ad. Yes, peace to you, Latoya, Columbia Hill. Let's listen.
Get ready for cute spicy ribs and fish. As you can see,
So
I am tired.
He planned on opening a restaurant.
I'm not even lie. It was very stressful. The language barrier. He don't trust me. I don't trust him. But I mean, I have more trust in him because I gave him all my money. But he was.
So you heard him say the language barrier. He don't trust me. I don't trust him. I trust him more because I gave him all my money. What is that? I thought that right there, red flag. What is that supposed to be? You know what I mean? Like, no. Why? If you don't trust him, don't give him your money. But he got killed. This brother got killed. Rest in peace. I'm sensitive to his family. You're absolutely right, Columbus Hill. All of them, I'd say about in the 90%, because why? What do you think you're doing going? And if they know that going in, that's great. But sadly, a lot of them really are being deluded, being told this is better. You're going to find the woman of your dreams. You're going to be happy. You're going to be able to open your business. Everybody's going to love you. You know, black men are heroes over here. That's what the workers are telling them, those poor women over there, the ones who are honeypots, and all the ones who work for these groups of criminal men who they make them think that they make the black man and the American man think they're heroes. They're looking at you as a lick. Okay? And a disposable lick. Not just a lick like you'll be lucky to wake up the next day just from being drugged and robbed. There's a couple men who have woke. Then these are Germans. These aren't Americans. This one guy woke up and he's like, he told the story. They stole all my money. They took over 15,000 euro. They took this. They took that. 2 women. I went over their place. They were going to make me some traditional food. This is 2024. If she looks like Ice Spice or Megan Thee Stallion, she's probably not going to take you home and cook you some traditional food. She could probably boil up an egg. I'm telling you. All right? She's not going to take you home and cook you some traditional food. That would be a red flag. Okay? So, let's keep listening to this unfortunate story that he tells. And listen, he said there was a language barrier. He didn't trust me. I didn't trust him, but I gave him all my money. And he says, and I still have this apartment. I'm still trying to get people out of it. So he bought I guess he bought a space and paid for it. And then people were still occupying his space. It's just a hot mess.
Looking to see what was real. I mean, it was just too much. Just too much. Had to get his family members out of the apartment. Still got to get the one upstairs out the apartment.
That story right there really caught my attention about what could happen to you in Colombia. But then there is 59-year-old Gregory Stewart Owens. He was gunned down in Cartagena during a robbery attempt in October 2023. But then there's this young man, Johnny Jerome.
So that you just heard him. That's already 2 men, 2 black men who were shot and killed in Colombia. So now he's moving on to another brother, Johnny Jerome. He's in his 40s and family. He was killed on his birthday in a luxury rental, living the high life, right? Come on, bros. Let's go to the passport. Get rid of these black women, these big overweight black women, all these women. Newsflash, there's overweight women in Latin America. And even bigger newsflash, there's black women there too. And I'm talking about black women who are descendants of the slave trade. So they've got the same, so-called mental issues and social struggles that many black women have worldwide who are descendants of the African American slave trade. It's not just in America. In fact, it's worse in places like Colombia or the DR because these women are poor, dirt poor. You think they're not? And you're just an American tourist, like they're not scared of America. Again, are you not watching these these movies or reading the news on these real stories about the trades that are going to, like the you know what, the illegal trafficking stuff, people, drugs, guns. Let's listen to this. What happened to the man in his 40s on his birthday? They found him the day after. Let's listen.
Only 45. He was found dead in a jacuzzi in a luxury suite in Medellin, November the 2nd. He was killed the day after celebrating his birthday with a cousin and 2 women he met on a dating app. Stop the show. Let's talk about these dating apps. It's getting so bad that the United States government has said this to Americans using dating apps in Colombia.
A warning for people using dating apps in Colombia. Apps are being linked to the recent deaths of several Americans visiting the country. Let's unpack this. In the last 2 months, 8 American tourists have died suspiciously in the Colombian city of Medellin. The US Embassy in Bogota has said some of these victims were drugged and robbed after meeting people on dating apps. Criminals use dating apps to lure victims to meet in public places such as hotels, restaurants, and bars, and then later assault and rob them, they said. The embassy has also said that this is part of a broader trend and that there has been an increase in incidents involving the use of online dating apps to lure victims, especially foreigners. They didn't disclose which specific apps. They have encouraged visitors to be vigilant and to make.
We're gonna have.
Okay, let me say something about
my
this.
makeup today. Cannot wait.
I'm going to stop playing some of this for a minute and let me talk to you about this. Let me talk to you about the language. Remember, this is Black History Month, okay? It's Black Our Story Month. I want to talk to you about some of this. You know, I named the DR. I need to talk to you about this, okay? So, you notice that the way they're putting the language. The U.S. Embassy says criminals are using dating apps. First off, they're warning men, the passport bros. Let's get that out of the way. They're not warning women. There aren't any women in droves, I should say, in droves and droves, going to dating apps and trying to meet men abroad. That's not happening. Unless you're those Caucasian English ladies who want to go to Africa and, get those young African men. But those women are actually making relationships with those men. And those men there are making relationships with those women. But that's a fringe anomaly. That doesn't usually happen. You don't see women going abroad to find love. What you do see is men doing it. You see men doing it a lot. And you see it being promoted. Oh, yeah, get your passport bros. Leave these Black women alone. That's another thing. There's so much to unpack here. If you want to go abroad and you want to meet women and you want to get women that are not American, and if you want to get women who are not Black American, I say do you. The problem is the energy behind it. I'm getting metaphysical too. The energy behind it is you are ridiculing and pushing a hatred for a group of people who have nothing to do with what's going on in your life. Let's be real. Yes, I know there are a lot of Black women doing a lot of Black things, but guess what? Obviously, there are a lot of Colombian women doing a lot of bad things, and a lot of Russian women, and a lot of Chinese women. So, but you don't see people targeting women in those. No, you don't see people saying, the passport bros saying, these Colombian women are criminals. All of them are whores. They are just trying to get us to come over there so they can drug us and kill us. And this is something that's really happening. No, you don't hear them saying anything like that. So that's what I want to point out. Why not? This would be something that you should say. But I wouldn't want you to say Colombian women. But what you should do if you want to save the lives of your passport bros, hey guys, hold on. I know we were telling you to go over there and that you're going to have a wonderful life and you're going to escape the Black woman in America. But this just in, the women over there are actually waiting for us so they can murder us with bandillas. Bandillas are groups of men, basically, and women who are sitting up waiting to hit a lick off of you and to take your life. They have no problem taking your life. They don't. They're not smart enough to say, oh, the U.S. Embassy, the U.S. might do something about it. They're criminals. They live to evade the law. You get it? So, hola, senor. Hi, No Saint. Peace to everybody. No Saint, Shig Sonic, Latoya, Wayman Casey. So, you get what I'm saying? These brothers, these men are going over there and they're getting unalived. And they're getting drugged and shot. And, you know, people, these women see them coming from a mile away. But I want to get back to the language. The U.S. Embassy said criminals are going. Why doesn't the U.S. Embassy make it clear? There are women who on these dating apps are luring men in because they're honeypots. A honeypot, I mean a honey trap. I put honeypot. I got to change the title because I always think honeypot. Honey traps, honeypot. A honey trap is a woman who's very attractive. And you look at her and say, why is she, well, something's going on here. If she looks too good to be true, meaning not saying you're not the man and you can't pull the most beautiful women, but if she looks too good to be true and she's so sweet and submissive, by the way, they're studying all of you guys, all you men on the internet. That's another thing. Have you been doing this the smart way, my friends? I'm talking to the black men. Can you admit, because you know the white and the Asian, they're gonna do. They look, the white. I'm gonna tell you, the white man, he's been going abroad for years, decades, going and getting his wife. He's been mail ordering them, bringing them here. Okay. And I'm not saying this is because the white man is superior, because there are white men who are getting unalived over there too, and there are white men who are getting robbed. So I'm not saying that, but I'm talking to the passport bros, because the difference with the black men is this: you are talking about black women so badly. You're calling black women lowlifes and thieves and poor. You're broke and you're ugly and you're fat, but then you're going over there and you're getting unalived. Mercilessly unalived. You're getting smiled, they're smiling in your face, and then they're unaliving you. So don't you think you should dial back on that? Don't you think, in honor of those who have lost their lives, you should start really changing your rhetoric and your campaign against the black woman? And I'm going to say it again. It's sad that most of you are now getting your passports just because you want to spite the black woman, basically. You say you're going over there for peace, which obviously we see you're not, because you're not going over there for peace. Even if you're not unalived, even if you're not robbed, you're over there in a strange place spending tons of money. Okay? And how is that peaceful? And these women aren't coming back with you. I mean, I'm sure there's a small percentage. There's always this one black guy that jump up. My wife, I found her in Bogota, and she's been with me for 15 years. Bro, congratulations. More power to you. But the majority of these men, like the brother said, it's a trick and a lick. That's what's going on. So I'm sorry. This is love. And, just don't believe the hype when you hear people saying this is a quick fix. There's never a quick fix. Never a quick fix. When they say you can get away from here and go and you can find all the women you need. No, you can't. They're killing, they're unaliving black men. I think it was, 8 have been unalived in the past, don't quote me. In the past, month? 2-3 months? Why am I not seeing this on the news? Well, that's another thing. You know why. It's kind of coming out now because an Asian man, and I'm so sad for his family. I'm sad for all the people's families. But this Asian man was beaten to death and extorted. Like the brother on his birthday. I mean, this isn't good. These are people's brothers and fathers and family members. I'm not happy. I'm admonishing the ones who are pushing this, though. You're responsible. You're partially responsible. You have put it out there that they should just get up and go. You didn't say, hey, come on. We got to be careful. This isn't about what woman is better than the so-called black woman in America, because these women over there, it's a different type of scary. The women here are scary and the women there are scary. It's a different type of scary. Okay, yeah. Women are doing the worst to their husbands. He's laying on the sofa. He's up. She looks through his phone, finds out that he's got girlfriends, and she violates him in his sleep with some hot grease or a butcher knife to his privates. I'm not being funny. Yeah. Okay, and there is no but. So then he says, "Oh, I want to get away from this. She's trying to make me pay McDonald's for all her baby's kids. I only have one baby with her. I'm not going to buy them for the other 4. I'm going to go to Bogota. I'm going to go to Colombia. I want to go to another country. It's not just Colombia, by the way. It's just that Colombia is in the radar. Trust me. I want to go somewhere else because the black woman's horrible. Go over there and you get drugged and beaten to death and robbed and murdered. It's horrible. So now it's coming out more because it's a few non-black men have been killed. I'm sorry, but you know that's how it goes, my friends. Some non-black men have been killed and robbed, and the latest one was horrific. All of them are horrific, but the latest was like they tortured him. He contacted his family trying to get the money, and all because you think that they just showed up and saw like some guy looking like Benicio del Toro, and they hung out with him. No, it was it wasn't some sweaty, hairy guy, Hispanic guy, Latino with a scorpion tattooed across his forehead. It's some beautiful Latin beauty, Latina, like, "Ay, puppy, oh, come on, let's go have some. You want to go see my culture? Oh, yeah. No, don't worry. There's no crazy black girls here. It's just me. It's just me and my girls. You mind if I invite them over? Oh, this is great. Let me get online and tell all my brothers. Yeah, brothers, passport bros all the way." 20 hours later, you're somewhere floating face down in a jacuzzi. Rabbit ears. Okay, are your pockets. Pockets are rabbit-eared. That's what I meant. Is it funny? No, I'm not. And I know I can be a little animated and, put the spin on it. But hey, I'm being real. Why aren't you passport bros telling the men not to go there and don't do this? Just stay in your element until you're ready, till you have a translator, till you have a set area wherever you're going to go. Be smart. Have a base in these different places that you go to. You're going to different countries. That's another thing. Black, white, Latino Americans are so Americans are so how do you say it? Like spoiled. Americans are spoiled. They don't even think I'm going to another country. I'm not the big dog anymore, and I'm not loved. I'm not a hero. People are looking at me and they want to harm me. They want to rob me. I'm not looked at as, "Oh, I'm so glad you're here, American man." No, I'm looked at as, yeah, I got that lick right there. That's a trick I'm about to trick and lick. First turn that trick, then hit that lick. If he even gets to get a turn. So I just wanted to talk about that because you're being unalived. What happened to these great women? And I'm not making fun. See, they're so sensitive. They'll say, "You see these black women on the internet making fun of these brothers being unalived." Excuse me? This is to help you. You need to change your rhetoric. You need to change your call for everyone to do the exodus out of black land. As Princella says, Niggerland. And stop saying, we got to go and we got to find these other women. We got to go there. You better really research where you're going. And you saying passport bros, these brothers, some of it breaks my heart when I hear them on the internet. Like, oh, I got my passport now. You got yours. I got mine. Like they make it like it's the golden ticket to the Willy Wonka's, to the chocolate factory. No, it's a passport. It's saying that you have the privilege to travel to other countries. And doing so, there's laws, different cultures, different unfamiliar dangers. So it takes more than just, seeing all the beautiful women. Come on and visit us, Poppy. I'm on Instagram. I'm working out. Oh, I don't understand English. Can you do the translate with me? And then you go over there and you don't even know the language. It's ridiculous. Are you going to drop the link? Sure. Come on in. I'll let you come in for a moment. I didn't want to make this too long, but definitely because I have some things I was going to say. Anybody want to come in? Sure. Come on in and add your take on it if you'd like. But yeah, this is sad. And I think that it should be specified. It should be more explicitly said, listen, it's not about the women in the country here. It's happening abroad. Even worse. We were wrong. We were deluded. We're so upset with the state of women in America, the state of women today. We are so desperate to get away from it. And so we are suffering. I'm saying that should be the speech that the passport bro leaders should have, or something like that. Like I guess Black women aren't the worst of all. I guess it's all different women in different situations. I did hear O'Shea say you have to understand that these people are very impoverished. And O'Shea lately, he's been very very fair as far as women go, Black women and American women. He does live in Africa. He has experienced different countries, not just Africa. So he has. I mean, I know Africa is not a country, not just the continent of Africa, the countries. Can you just show yourself before I put you on? If you don't want to turn your camera, that's okay. But I got to see who you are before I let you on. I'd just like to see who you are on YouTube and IG. Oh, okay, it's you. I didn't know it was you, No Saint. What's up? Yes.
Hey,
How are you?
my hair is a mess.
Oh, I didn't even see you. I didn't even look at your hair. I just knew it was you. I see now the Saint, the
Yeah,
fleur de
fleur de
lis,
lis.
fleur de
Yeah,
lis.
yeah, yeah.
How are you? So,
Hey,
first
how are you?
off, where have you been?
Oh, I was on a podcast, and that's over now. But yeah, we were doing shows and things like that. And so I didn't that and a lot of other things going on.
Oh,
But
so you ended
I
it?
tune in. I've been tuning into you a lot, and
That might not be good sometimes.
and and I still peep my head in all the different channels and see what's going on, but I try to stay out the drama,
Oh, you're great. That's perfect. I recommend that. Stay out of
Yeah.
the drama. So I'm always glad to see you. I'm glad you're here. And here's my sister Latoya. She's joining. Peace, Latoya.
Hey,
You are familiar with No Saint, right, Latoya?
I am actually, yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
Latoya.
Hey, how are you?
I
I'm all
can see
right.
your picture better. Oh my gosh, I like your hair like that. Yes,
Oh, thank you, sis.
I like the blonde. I'm a fan of blonde hair on everyone. So let's see what No Saint has to say, and then I'm going to move on to you with your wisdom. So I'm just going to mute you out real quick and mute myself. Go ahead, No Saint.
Yeah, so this is really fascinating. We've had many conversations on passport bros, and really it's nothing new. On the internet now, it's the passport bros. Everybody's thinking, oh well, but white people have been doing this forever, right? They've been going to Thailand. It just hasn't been broadcast on the internet, and it's, in my opinion, not everybody, but it's really sleazy. It's a sleazy way to try to get someone that, in my opinions, in a downstate that are going to, it works both ways, because what the passport bros or the people that going overseas to meet women are fail to realize, or maybe they talk themselves out of it, is that these women aren't stupid either. They know exactly what they're doing. So you're just as likely to meet someone, as you were saying, Napah, that is setting you up as you are trying to set them up, or trying to trying to believe that these women are somehow submissive and feminine and fit. All they're doing is they're playing the hand that they have, right? And believe me, I'm not the best looking guy in the world, and I'm no better looking when I go over to another country. Those women know what good looking men are. What you have that they don't have is you have access to different places with your passport, right? And you have
different resources. Yeah.
and you have resources, and a lot of like I saw where, because there's some people over in Thailand, and some of those girls say that they're walking ATMs. Basically, they get you wrapped up, and then next thing you know, you're paying for an upgrade to the whole family's house. So they're playing you as much as you think you're getting a traditional woman, because the internet, there's nothing hidden anymore. Everybody sees what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that men in general, tell themselves they want to believe things. They want to believe that this woman likes them. I think they talk themselves into believing that, but in the end, you're not getting any really. All you're getting is a woman that is less fortunate, that has less options when it comes to resources. And the
Wow.
problem here in the United States, there is a problem here, and the problem is that I know people are going to call me a simp or whatever, but the problem is that guys need to step up their game here. We no longer live in a world where women in the United States, for the most part, have to submit to a man sitting around, not doing anything. Basically, women have a lot of options. Women have a lot of options.
Wow.
And so, yeah.
No, wait. You know what? You said a lot of this is great. I want Latoya to come in, but you know what? You gotta keep in touch with me, because you might want to come back in and do some commentary. Do a couple shows. I don't know what happened with your last podcast, but
No, I for sure will come in now that I have more time. No, we're still all on good terms and everything. It's just there was a pivot, and so the person that was kind of had the platform is moving on, and like I said, I'm still doing stuff with them, but we're just no longer doing a show. Like, we're doing a show almost like 6 nights a week. So.
Oh wow. Okay, I keep saying I want to see it. I still have not been able to see it, I don't think. But anyway, I'm gonna talk to you about that. Just email me. You still have my email.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, let me hear from Latoya, because I know she wants to add on. You said a lot. I agree with what you said. I like how you brought up the thing about the Thailand and how Caucasian men have been doing this for a while. Latoya, what's your take on it? I'm glad you joined. Talk to us.
So, I mean, this kind of has a special place in my heart, only because I know a lot of Colombians. I moved to DC and I lived there for a while, so I became really good friends with a lot of different people, really. But in particular, just this group of Colombians really took me in, and were really great to me, and still some of my best friends today. Right? I've been to Colombia several times, and you gotta know, I've been in the groups now. I go with them. I never go alone. Like, I know enough Spanish, but I don't know enough, in my opinion, to just go to somebody's country and think that I'm gonna pick up on all the clues and know what's going on around me.
Right.
So I always go with native speakers, and in particular, people specifically from Colombia, because all Hispanic countries are not the same, right?
Right.
So I've been in situations where I've seen groups of what now is termed passport bros. They just got a name now, but I've been seeing there's been an uptick of this coming on. It's just really a big surge now. And
Mm,
just like you said, Nepal, these actions, these are not people looking for relationships, sis. I've seen them in the groups laughing, snickering, trying to pinch on women. Like,
mm,
this is not about going to find no relationship. We need to be serious. Now, I can't speak for all, right? There's
right.
always outliers. Maybe there is somebody in America that just really loves Colombian women. Maybe. But from what I've seen with my own eyes, has been uh, people down there being ridiculous and trying to get away from American women or black women in particular means standards.
Mm, right.
Or you might have to pay for a date. Like, these now
Right.
are unspeakable things to do. And so they get down in a foreign country and they're showing out. And they don't know. A lot of times, yes, I agree with No Saint. There is a sector of these women that listen. Women aren't stupid, and the oldest profession in the world is 304. We know
Yep.
that, right?
Yes, yes.
But what if now, in my opinion, what I've seen more of in Colombia, Thailand's different. In Colombia, you have women that are already being abused and being forced to do this. It's not even they want to do it.
Wow.
So these men are actually perpetuating basically sexual deviancy and
Right. Sex
trafficking.
trafficking. Yeah, yeah, definitely. These when I said bandillas, bandilla is like it's basically like a gang of men, really men, uh, pimps basically putting women
Exactly.
to become honey traps. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, Nepal, I've seen with my own eyes. I've been in a group. Um, my friend Cesar is literally from Colombia.
I
We've
believe
sat
you.
like at like little places to eat outside, and
Mm-hmm.
we've seen like these men try and get these women. We've actually seen the banditos send the women, and the
Wow.
men are so stupid and don't know any Spanish that they fall for it. And we're looking like this brother's not gonna have any kidneys.
Yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
so this is a very real thing, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
you're being ignorant. I wouldn't do that in another city, let alone another country.
Exactly. Why do you think, I'm gonna ask you first, and then I'm gonna ask no saying the same question. Why do you think that I'm saying American men, but I'm going to talk about the Black Passport Brothers bros specifically. Why do you think these men are pushing? We are the ones that are so much better. We're so much smarter, and then they're just not even. They're making these ignorant moves like this. Like what you just said is basic. Who doesn't know don't go to a foreign country? So what do you think their real motivation? Do you really think it's just to because I'm gonna tell you what I think. I'm gonna give you a little cheat sheet here. I think it's just to get back at black women. But why do you think they're just jumping into this whole just go do it? What do you
So,
think it is?
no saint, speaking as a man, I totally agree with him. A lot of it, number one, okay, so male is different. Like you're saying specifically black men, okay? So specifically black men, in my opinion, right? You're already in a country where you're probably not, you don't really have a strong rulership of your own stuff, right?
Right.
It's hard to be you know what I mean, because you have to deal with racism and oppression and other things, right? And it's
Right.
almost like a way to almost like boost the ego but without trying to do the work,
Thank you. There,
right?
you just
Like,
hit it on the head.
right, you have to do the work. Some of it, honestly, Nepal, I honestly believe is straight up self-hate that's residual, and I'm being real, residual from
Mm.
slavery, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I think so too.
But I don't put everything on that. I'm not one of them type of people, right? I don't
Right.
say, well,
That's
you
a
get to
large
just
part.
stay dilapidated because of slavery. That's ridiculous. You got to get better than that.
Hmm.
But what I'm saying is, um,
It's a quick fix to try
it's
to boost
it's
their
a
ego.
really quick fix, right? It's a quick ego boost, right?
Right.
Um, when the real flex is being like you're gonna trash. See the difference between when the white man does it, in my opinion, and when the black man does it is he might go over to Thailand and do whatever he want to do, but guess what? He comes back to America, marries a white woman, and has a white family, and they go on in
Yeah.
perpetuity, right?
Most of the time, some of them do get like a Thai lady, but most of the time they come back and
Right.
they just
I would say this, out of the white men that I know, I don't see all of them having out of their race wives. We all know that the statistics say black men date outside and marry outside their race more than all the other men combined per capita.
Oh, is that true?
Oh yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, we're number one. The black man is the number one male who will marry outside of his race, and it's like, if
Hmm.
you want to do that, I don't care. But my
But
thing
the
is,
women,
don't
let me
shit
jump
on
in.
black women when
Yeah,
you do it.
thank you. I was gonna say, but the women, you know what? You made me think. I'm gonna move over to come back to you, no saint, so you can add in. You made me think of something. It's not just they're trying to escape the black woman. The women in the non-black women in America don't want them.
Right. Which should be a wake up call, right?
But I'm not saying that, but I mean that's what it would amount to. Because why are you going to another country? Why are you leaving the country if you're trying to just get away from the black woman? Why don't you get the Asian, Latina,
Because
Caucasian?
it's not just the black woman. You're trying to get away from the American woman.
There you
And the
go.
American woman is going to probably require, not all, let's be real, but it's probably going to require more than somebody who is impoverished and being forced to sleep with you.
Oh, and you know what's that's a they're being dishonest because why don't they just say all American women? Why do they have to always say black woman, black woman, black woman, black woman, black woman? Yeah.
Have you seen the latest couple of cases where these black men have gone with these lovely white women and how they've been running around outside and get beat with Billy? See, the gig is up. Being a black man is not the flex that I think everybody thought it used to.
Oh wow. With that said, I'm gonna put no saint
Yeah.
on the hot seat. And what do you think about that? No, you don't
No,
have
no.
to.
Listen, I agree with her in a lot of sense. Listen, this
Go ahead.
it's simple. So first of all, there are a lot of expats that go. I've been to Colombia 3 times. Love Colombia, beautiful people. But there are a lot of people, expats, that go and do marry like a Thai, like if it's a white guy or even a black guy, Thai woman, or
But I would say an expat is someone who's really more serious about the person than
Yeah,
somebody
you
just
move
yeah,
there at that point.
yeah, for sure. But this is what they have in common, right?
okay.
Especially the people that have, and I don't know how rich they are because you go over there and your money stretches a lot, but they have means, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
you'll see like the old, in this case, an old white guy with someone 30 years younger and believing, because guys, man, women are magic. They are they have this gift
You're
of
right.
beauty that we believe. We are gullible. We believe what they tell us. So these
Oh,
older
talk about
guys,
that more. Because that's what's
these old,
getting them killed. It's not even the beauty of the face and the body. It's what they're saying is what's getting these men unalived.
oh, that's true. And so these older guys, I'm just gonna go with the older guys, they talk themselves into believing that this woman is really interested in them for, and we got to be honest. So, and what she was saying is true. The women here in America have options. They have way more options than the guys, right? So, no, when people say they want a traditional wife from the 50s or the 60s or whatever, they're talking about someone that doesn't have options, that if they leave their husband, they're not getting any, there's no the divorce split. They'll be out in the street if they don't have a
Yeah.
good job. And a lot of times they couldn't get a good job because they weren't allowed to get a good job, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, it is more difficult here. They go over there. The ones that aren't interested, they're the ones that aren't interested in a relationship that are going over there. They remind me of military people. When you go, you're in the military and you go on a base, and all of a sudden you're picking up on all these women. And yes, the impoverished women will do things for money and for resources, and a lot of times they're really beautiful, right?
Right.
Men here don't want to stay in their lane. They don't want to stay in their lane.
Go
They
ahead,
want,
no saint.
yeah, they want to go and they want to get if they're watching porn or whatever, they see these beautiful women and they think they have the right to have access and go out of their lane. And so
Right.
in America, it's not going to work like that. But you go over to these other places with your passport, and these women are, listen, a lot of them are desperate.
Yeah,
You know,
most of them, if not all of them, who are in those positions are desperate.
yes. So I mean, so you can talk yourself into saying that these women are feminine and fit and all these things, and
They're
they're
looking
like a
for a chick.
yeah, but they're playing the game. And when you talk about Colombia, uh, a lot of people are finding out that these women are drugging them, and they end taking their bank account because they don't know what
Yeah,
they're doing on this
yeah.
dragon's breath. You
And
know,
if you go to Thailand, you might have another problem. You might be dating a man, and that's
Might
what
be.
you want to do. I
there's
ain't
that,
hating.
and there's that.
Most of the time, I'd say about 50% of the time, maybe 40% of the time, it's gonna be a trans woman in Thailand. But they're on, for the most part. Now, this isn't everybody. They say, you know, they're not. It's a different vibe because you know what? I hate to say it. I'm jumping out the window. I'm jumping out the window. It's because that's been, I'd say, let's 30 years plus, maybe even 50 years of very wealthy, uh upper middle class to high to upper middle class to what do you call it, upper class Caucasian men have been frequenting the Asian so-called women scene. You know, they've been the passport bros, right? Now, stay with me. I'm not saying it's only black men who've changed the passport bro game, but they are a big part of it. And it's not about black men being in pot. I'm talking about black men who are like middle class to lower middle class. They bring in a new dynamic. Hear me out, brothers. Don't get triggered. Black men don't get triggered, but they're bringing a new dynamic to how the women of these foreign countries are reacting. I'm getting to a point. In Thailand, you're not seeing a lot of like huge amounts of unaliving and huge amounts of robbery. It was a different type of they've almost been cultivated, those women in those type of countries. Like, I named Thailand because it's one of the main ones. There are other countries too. I'm going to say the DR. You don't get a lot of women unaliving men. Well, these are countries that have been going on since the 50s, where white men, especially Jewish men, have been going to these countries, especially the DR, and they've been spending their money on these women, treating these women a certain way, coming to the country acting a certain way. All right. Now we're here in the 2000s, in the 2020s, post COVID. I said it. And we've got these men, and I'm gonna tell you, I saw a couple instances. We've got these men who are not, they don't have any respect for the country. They don't have any respect for women at all. That's because they're coming from, I'm sorry, brothers, don't come from me. They're coming from the manosphere, a lot of misogyny. They're going to these countries, and they're treating these women just like prostitutes, even if they are. They're treating them like prostitutes. They're getting in fights with them. They're arguing, and they think they can treat them like they treat black women in America. And so the women in these countries are responding. It's like your reflection, that they're reciprocating that energy.
Yep.
They're treating them like, oh, you want to, oh, that's how you want to come. Okay. So we're going to do this to you. I'm not saying that these robberies haven't been going from since the beginning of time, but you can see it happening on a high level. First and foremost, black men are leading it, but now it's happening to younger Caucasian men, younger Asian men, because they're not coming in with that type of understanding that, remember, it was called Gentlemen's Club and it was all about prostitution, y'all. And I'm not saying that these creeps that are going over to these countries exploiting women in Thailand or anywhere, the older ones or the ones that have been doing it for a while, I'm not saying they're better, but let's not pretend that the business, the Caucasian CEO, he's not coming to a country treating the women, the poor women there, like the Amazon delivery black guy who already has 2 babies mama and hates women and is one of the premier members of the
Right.
ministry.
Right.
He's there, and they're getting this energy. They're setting the mood or the mode in these countries for them to really, they've amped up the unaliving with the M word. I'm talking about in Colombia. And I know when it happened, I see when it actually happened, when 2 instances went viral with, anybody saw this, where those black men, the group of black men were kicking those 2 Colombian women out, saying, "Get the F out." And
Yep.
you saw that, where she's like, "You didn't pay." It's like, get the F out of my place. And he was actually going to harm her. He was in her face. And the guy had to hold him back. Right after that happened, this is when all this unaliving really amped up. So
it's like, respect the game, right? Listen, a woman can do with her body whatever she want to do, and I don't get in people's business and tell them how to live. But even in that world, even in the prostitution or the sexual worker world, there are still rules and you know what I mean? There's still a game to it.
Yeah.
And you can't just be over there beating up people, because I hate to be like this, but
no, you're right. Talk.
if
So
that
you get what I'm
woman
saying.
belongs to another man, he don't want you damaging his goods. And if she come back beat up, your ass don't pay.
There you go. So you're
That's
getting what I'm
just the
saying.
game. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm not even hating on the game. I think people get a right to do whatever they think they need to do. But you can't just go over there wiling out. See,
No.
over here we got rules and laws and all these. Listen, Colombia is a different kind of a place. If you stay in your lane, it'll stay in its lane. But if you don't,
listen, all you got to do is watch that Netflix Brazilda. You'll find out how you can wind up getting yourself in some trouble.
Oh, you
and
said
it
Brazil?
don't take much.
You say Brazil? That's another place.
That's
No,
another
Colombia.
place.
No, but I want to talk to you about Brazil. I'm glad you brought it up. See, my point was, places like Brazil, for decades, again, there were a lot of brothers. There are a lot of black men are going to Brazil, but I'm talking about European, upper class, really upper class, wealthy white men have been going to these places. And again, I don't want anybody saying, "Oh, you saying black brothers don't have class." The majority of these men that are now passport bros are trash. I'm gonna tell you, yeah, you could come for me. When I say trash, they're disrespectful. They're cursing women out online. They're calling women all kinds of whores. They don't take care of their children. They're blaming black women for everything. And they think going to get a passport and going to the country, and I said it before, I said, you think these women are going to forget about the prostitution? Let's not call all these women prostitutes. You think these women in all these other countries are going to take your crap? They're not.
No.
So that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. And there's something, it's just like when I was telling you earlier, like you'll see this in the military where, you got 18, 19-year-olds showing their ass in another country.
Bingo.
Because they're not mature. It's kind of the same vibe. But what you're talking about is when you're talking about the wealthy, men that go there, the white men that go there, they're wealthy.
Yeah, and I'm not cheerleading from them. I think you're having some audio difficulties. I want to clear that up. Like I use the word trash, but I'm thinking of the ones who abuse women. All the brothers.
No. I get that. But what I'm saying is, can you hear me? Okay.
We hear you, but you have a little bit of feedback. But go ahead, finish your thought.
Shoot. What I'm saying is that the people that have been doing this for a long time are in a different age bracket, so they're not putting it on TikTok. They're not advertising what they're doing, right? So it's a little bit different. So now you got people with social media that they have to put everything out on blast, and that pisses people off, especially when you're disrespecting their rules in their country and their women.
You know what, No Saint? That's
right,
a good point. I remember watching, there was a guy, and this was only like 2 months ago, so this wasn't no long time ago. The guy was basically doing like a travel blog of all of his conquests women, right? So he ended up, this guy was actually in Brazil, right? And he had his phone and he was documenting the girl that he got squeezed and all of. I'm like, number one, how are they showing this? But anyway, it got taken down eventually.
I remember that. He was on the beach too.
Yeah, and there's a lot of these guys doing this, right? So you have it all on national, like worldwide,
international.
Internet. Do you think the Brazilian government wants this shown all over the place? Of course they don't. Even if it's happening, we know it's. Let's not even make this recent. Prostitution and sexual workers and men going to see women in other countries has been happening since, Queen of Sheba and Alexander, right? So
Mhm.
this has been going on and will forever go on. I'm not hating it. All I'm saying is, idiot, don't put it on. Don't put
But
it on
Latoya,
TikTok.
yeah, Latoya, but listen, the new thing is this is the new part. A group of men who are emotionally hurt and unstable are coming together in hordes and
Oh yeah, I've
saying,
seen them. I told you, I've seen a pack of them. They
yeah,
run in packs.
and then they already say, oh, they're just using black women as an excuse, but really it's all women. They don't have respect. And then they're going to these countries and they're disrespecting the women in the same way. But something's waiting for them, like you said. I'm not laughing, but the
The
bandillas are waiting.
banditos.
The bandidos, the bandillas, the honey traps. So I didn't want to come for the people who've lost their lives and their family. Look, I feel for you. It would be horrible. But let me say this too.
Vibration you give out.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was gonna say all the hatred that is put out specifically by the passport bros. Like, why do you have to say how much you hate and we're running away and making these stupid little cartoons of black women chasing them who are with their kids in their arms, overweight, chasing these great, well-groomed black men? What? Just be more mindful of the energy you put out. Because again, who's gonna feel I feel compassion for them, but do you see very many people gonna have sympathy for them when things happen to them?
No, that the government ain't even gonna go over there and get and help none of them.
No, not at all. So I'm so glad you guys hit the panel. I want you to give us your final words. You have so much wisdom, both of you. I love having you up here. This is a real privilege for me. I wish it could happen. I want it to happen more. I don't want to wishing on a star. Just kidding. So go ahead and close out. Latoya, I'll let you go first, and then no Saint, and then I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you to everybody who came in. Please hit the like. Go ahead. I'm gonna mute out.
Sure.
Latoya.
First of all, I want to say this. Black men, I love you. I really do. But we gotta do a little bit better here. Um, it's not gonna do you any good. As you see, the reports are coming in. The best thing you can do for yourself is to work on yourself and get yourself in a place where it's not all about having sex. And I know that may be hard to hear, but the truth of the matter is that drive is leading people to go to another country without knowing the language and becoming a whole lick for somebody to rob and even unalive you. Um, there's an energy that is attached to hate, to lies, to shirking responsibilities. You're building up energy, and when you take that anywhere, it's gonna meet you wherever you go. Whoever you are in America, you're gonna be where you go somewhere else. you know I wish the best for everybody, and I'm sad that those brothers had to end up, not on earth, because they're following their sex drive instead of what women are asking is, how about you just be nice to us a little bit and not so crazy, and you wouldn't have to go all the way to a different country. But that's going to require men start to do a little bit more, I think personally, internal self work and become emotionally available. And until that happens, it's going to get rougher. It's not going to get any better, because women of all cultures and creeds are starting to pick this up, even in Asia. Eh, Either you're going to get it together or you're going to be real lonely. That's just the way it is.
I know that's right. Those are words of wisdom from Latoya Ma'at. I love the name. I love the person, and I want to see more of you. I keep on, like Napah. You just say this all the time. Procrastination. I want to bring my show back, and I want you to be a part of it. But we'll talk behind the scenes. I know you called me. I want to tell you I love you. I was doing something where I couldn't answer, but you get in touch with me. I'm going to make an effort to at least text you back, because you've been a very, very wonderful sister to me. And I want you to just know that I appreciate you. I
I
appreciate you.
appreciate you too, sis.
All right. Peace and love. You can see your way out. We're going to hear from No Saint now. He's going to close out and give us his words of wisdom as well. No Saint, you're another person I value. Let's see your closeout, and then I'm going to mute out while you go ahead.
First of all, Well, I just want to say thanks again for having a platform. And I tell you what, I'm not always in the chat, but I watch your shows a lot, and the wisdom comes from you is just amazing to me. I'm like, man, she is well thought out. I mean, you have solid points and everything. As
Thank
far
you.
as this, yeah, as far as this goes, listen, my baby's mama, we were married 20 years. We're still great friends. She's from Colombia. And no matter what, if you think that you're going to leave this country and go to another country and that relationship is going to be easy, you're sadly mistaken. The cultural differences make listen, I can't tell you how hard it is trying to mesh two different cultures, because you just speak. Sometimes you're saying things and you're speaking from your culture, and they're taking it a different way. I mean, it's difficult. That's all I'm going to say. So you may be thinking you're going to an easy relationship. If you truly are looking for a relationship for someone in another country that has a different culture, there are a lot of bombs that you can walk on. Secondly, listen, we have an epidemic here. Women have options in this country, and men are used to the way it used to be. And the problem is that we have like a lot of men now that are, if you want to say incels, or having
Oh, yeah.
trouble with intimacy with women. I want to say 50% of men have never, I think the stat I read was 50% of the men have never had real intimacy. We need to step up our game in this country. So my point is this: I don't have any problem with someone who really wants a relationship and goes and finds it somewhere else. But to think that those women are somehow better, no. And they don't, they're everybody, people are the same. Those women want the same thing as the women here want, which is respect, which is a man. They want a real man, a true man. They don't want to be disrespected. And they want to be on the same level as well. But you might be, what I'm getting at is, you might be able to get away with not, like, listen, I'm married above, right? I realize that my wife was beautiful, and she was a great woman, and I lucked out, truly lucked out. But
Yeah,
the
she is
truth,
beautiful, and you
but the
did luck
truth
out.
is
Mm-hmm.
that it's a lot harder in a relationship where the man or the woman is not on the same level looks wise. It just is, because one's going to get more attention than the other one. One's going to, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of tricks. I don't know. I'm
Right.
rambling. I know you got
No,
to
you're
go.
not. Actually, I want to, before you go, I want you to can you please put in the back chat I asked you before your channel.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. I can
Is
do
that
that.
where the podcasts are?
They're on there. It was actually on another channel, but I'll put that in there for you. You can go
Well,
check
I'm
some
going
out.
to keep in touch with you because, like I said, I want to bring you on more. You say you love my wisdom. Always love the wisdom that you have consistently brought every single panel. And of course, LaToya and all my other day ones. So thank you so much for coming in, and you dropped some real gems. Play this back on your channel if you'd like. You're more than welcome. If you want to just cut it up, or edit it. And you have a great evening. Hopefully you'll see me again. I'm coming in to do some lessons on the Anunnaki. Did you hear my stream about the Dark Watchers?
I think I caught I think I caught some of it.
About the Dark Watchers, the picking me, like my stories about the close encounters.
I didn't catch all that. I saw it start, but I was in the middle of,
I forget where you stand on that. I know you're an atheist, so I don't know if you're like, oh, more of this pseudo stuff.
But no, truly, when I hear you saying that, some of the things you talk about, I'm like, wow, man. You're just, listen, I'm not, you're always going to get hate when you give somebody a compliment, but seriously, like, I'll watch your stuff and I'm just like, damn, Napah is super smart. I know
you're not. Let me tell them a little background. He was one of my toughest audience members when I first came in. He was like, I don't think so, Napah. Remember when I first went into the HOK? You weren't mean, but you were on the sides of like, yeah, folks, let's get her, this Bible believer.
Yeah, right. Right.
But I
But even
appreciate
that,
you.
even though I don't believe in all that, I mean, you break things down so well, and you
Thank
got the
you.
background, and oh man, you don't know. I'm impressed every time I see you, and then the fact it's kind of cool that you know Farsi.
Oh yeah, I do know Farsi. Thank you. Thank
I'm
you.
just like,
Somebody who
yeah.
appreciates the Farsi, right? I always, at any chance I get to speak it, you know, I try to speak it so I don't lose it. But like I lost my German. I used to speak it fluently. I lived.
Yeah, I remember when I was in Germany, you were talking about being in Germany.
Yeah. Did you ever speak it?
No. I got a friend that does, friend that lived there, but no,
Yeah. If
I
I
don't
can
speak
get
it.
back to just holding conversations, I'll be fine because I can read. I can read it and understand it, but the speaking it gets kind of slow. You
I
know.
think people don't, you know, maybe that's in I know I can't hold you forever, but maybe that's where a lot of jealousy comes.
You
You
think
know,
so?
I mean, first of all, everybody, you know, I'm not telling you anything. You know, you're very pretty, right? That's always
Oh,
gonna for
thank
a
you very
woman. That's
much. Yeah.
a woman's
Coming from
always.
you, you haven't seen his wife. She looks like on the level of like Salma Hayek and all the the Latin
But
beauties. But thank you.
yeah, but yeah, so that's obviously that's a threat to some people, right? Even the guys that come at you, it's just the sense of they're rejecting you before you can reject them,
It's
basically.
like the sour grapes in Aesop's fables.
Yes. So you got that, and then just listen to you. I don't know how many. I mean, some people know, but like the places you've been, the things you've done. I mean,
Yeah.
that I that's the kind of that's the kind of stuff I love sitting down with people that have experienced things, and you're just you're up there. I mean,
And I appreciate you. Let me tell you, I want to have more people like you come in and there's more things I want to experience that I don't want to sound campy and like in German they call it kish like you know cheesy, but I want to experience things together like as a group, things that are new. We can explore things, so to speak, like even how we just did what we did on the panel. It
yeah
is so awesome to get somebody else's say so. I mean, nobody wants to be up on the panel all the time, just you know, giving their side. I love experiencing more, learning more, and I think the same about you. Believe it or not, you are very intelligent. I like when you challenge me. I'll never forget when you and I can't say the name now because she's become very unstable, but I remember I had the consciousness panel and we had a great time up here. The two of you were challenging me on that. Remember, we had a good
yes
time. So
yes
thank you, No Saint. I will keep in touch with you. We'll see more of you, and of course, shout out to Son Netter. He and I talk about you from time to time, and it's great to see you here. So you could see your way out and keep
okay
on
thank you
listening. And
all
don't
right
forget to share the chat, share the video. All right. Yes, we love No Saint over here. I see you. I see Prophetess Keys. I see you in the chat. I've been wanting to get you in. Of course we love my sister Latoya, my aunt. I see you, EP. Love that sister. I love this sister as well. These Tahuti, I was like, where are you? I emailed you like saying, where have you been? I'm glad to see you. Much love to you, Tahuti, my aunt Ross series. Um, Prophetess Keys, I'm gonna try to reach you again. I have a new phone number, but I was reaching out to you because I need to bring you back in as well. So this is the crowd that I love. I love all the audience, but I love my deep, darkest minds of the light. I mean that because you know, when you have people who are, you know, they can think like on a level where you don't have to pull teeth. You know, they're free thinkers and they're deep thinkers, and for me they resonate with me, and that's most of my audience right now. It's like it's so great because you could just kick back and just listen to people flow, and for me it's something I really like to do. I like to do it. We had a little mini panel, not a mini panel, but I guess it was mini, right, y'all? For me, that wasn't a mini panel, 3 people. But anyway, with that said, peace. Yes, No Saint said, me too, Latoya. What did Latoya say? What'd you say? Very healthy conversation. Loved it. You know what? It was my pleasure, like I said. So peace to the brothers out there. I know it was there were some harsh words said from me and some tough love, but it's because we care. Come on, be more responsible. You're the leaders. The black man's always saying, the black woman won't let me lead. She won't let me lead. Well, you can't lead if you're not going to lead well. You understand? You have to lead by example. You can't be running around the world, the continents, and just getting unalived over. What do they say? Game knows game. I thought I thought you brothers are getting schooled, and I'm not being facetious. I thought the manosphere is schooling you on all the tricks of the trade of the BW. That's black woman. And shout out to my brother Black Ram 313. He's on another level. He's not manosphere. He teaches the brothers, you got to do this, you got to do that. I would be remiss if I didn't. I'm glad I'm saying this. There are some men out there who are telling brothers, go abroad, try to be international. You don't have to stay in the United States. There are brothers like Black Ram 313 and O'Shea Duke Jackson. And yes, I'm going to throw my brother Obsidian in there, even though Obsidian, you need to try to be a little bit more responsible with some of these brothers. Everyone isn't like you, and everyone isn't, as how do you say, cultured. Some of these men are, sitting at their house playing video games all day, and they got in a fight with their baby's mama, turned on the internet, started following the manosphere, and 6 months later they went and got their passport, and 6 months later they're talking about, I'm gonna go get me a woman overseas. They're not ready. So that thing I was saying about, I want to make this clear, when I was saying about the class of the older money, upper middle class to upper class, CEO, old money, blue blood, Caucasian, so-called passport bro, but they weren't called passport bros. I was saying the way that they treat the people in these different countries, like in Thailand and Brazil, the women did set a precedence for how the women expect to be treated. And it's more, yes, even though it's the oldest profession, a lot of times it is more of the gentleman's club, where we have the contrast of men who are angry, bitter, upset, not things aren't working out in America. They're incels. They think, oh, it's a black woman's fault. We don't even like women anyway, but let's go ahead to another country. And then they go over to the other country and they mistreat the women there. And then it goes from just the women turning a trick and a lick to unaliving you. So you got to be careful. You do. I love you guys. I think you get what I said. Yes. I know I need to talk to you for sure. Yes, facts. Okay. Peace to the darkest minds of the light. Have a beautiful, beautiful evening with your family. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like.